Hello and welcome to Warhammer Wednesday. This is my long awaited army update video. I think I recorded one back in 2015, so it's been 2 years. Thank you all for your patience. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for all of your support as well. One of these videos takes a long time to get ready and to complete. This is my entire sort of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine collection. This wasn't just sort of bought overnight or anything like that. If you watch my other collection videos, you'll know that this has taken over 20 years of collecting. It's all of my models. I bought them all new. None of them are second hand. They're all genuine. None of them are fake, you know, from China or anything like that. So I pride myself on, you know, a genuine collection. If you stay tuned to the end of the video, there'll be some outtakes of me sort of setting it up, things like that. It took me almost 7 hours to move all the models here, get them set up. It takes an awful long time. It's probably going to take me about 5 hours or so to pack them all away. Okay, so before I start the video, I'll just put out a little disclaimer. As you can tell, a lot of these models aren't painted. If you're a painter and that's your most favourite part of the hobby, and you're even a gamer, that's gonna instantly sort of rub you up the wrong way. I'm the opposite of that. I'm more of a modeler and a collector more than a gamer and a painter. I'd much rather get a brand new model and spend time building it and to the best of my ability and get most of my enjoyment from that, and then including it in my collection. For me, that's my favourite part of the hobby. There isn't a club nearby, so there's no incentive for me to get models painted quickly to go and play them. And also, because there isn't a club, I don't game as much, so of course I don't enjoy that part of the hobby either. I understand a lot of people do game still, so that's why in my review videos I changed them, I think a year or two ago, to start including the rules as well, and you know, give that aspect. And I think I also did a few reviews of codexes and stuff. So that's sort of like the little disclaimer. So let's enjoy the rest of the video. So what I'm going to do is just go through each of the areas. This isn't sort of a true Space Marine army. There are quite a few other little factions in here. So you've got Space Marines from the 40k era and from the Horus Heresy. You've got a Demi Legio of Titans, an Imperial Knight House. You've got a Death Watch detachment, an Inquisitorial force, including agents and Grey Knights. You've got some Blood Angels mixed about and things. You've also got a force of Custodian Guard too. Okay, so first of all, let's look at those models right at the back. The Demi Legio. So we've got the model itself. Many people have been waiting to look at what I've done with this model. I've already shot the review, and that'll be coming out soon, so stay tuned for the channel. I'm also making another video showing you how I magnetised various parts, so I hope you join me for that one too. You might find it useful if you've got a Warlord, or if you're wanting to magnetise different parts of it. And it took me about 18 months to complete, from start to finish. It is a labour of love, and it's fully magnetised too. So one thing to mention while I'm sort of over here is at the base of the Warlord there is some Secretary Titan Guard. There's 20 of them. I'd like to get another 20, make that a nice 40. 40 seems about right to guard this Titan from little units. You got Peltas and Hoplites down at the bottom. There's one just there that I'm sort of working on the paint scheme to paint all the rest. It's going to be black and gold. They'll go really well with my Titan Legion. And then more to do with the Titans. You've got some Titan Tech Priests, and you've got the Moderati, not quite finished, Princeps, and you've also got a Knight pilot there, and you've got some Titan crew on foot. So it's sort of to do with the Titans. And moving over to the right, we have a Reaver Titan. That didn't feature in the video 2 years ago in 2015. I showed you the head of it. I was a bit gutted because it was the only model that I hadn't finished in terms of build. This time I've built everything that I have, but now it's finished. I mean, I did do a review of it and things as a separate video. Obviously it's nice to see it in the full update video. Then we've got two Scout Titans, two Warhound Titans, one Lucius on the left and one Mars on the right. I'm currently painting the Mars, so forgive me if you can see, I mean, I'll zoom in. Yeah, forgive me if you can see sort of through the black and the gold isn't quite highlighted, and you know, the shin pads aren't finished, no way near. But the Lucian pattern is finished. That was my original grey and yellow Titan. And if you haven't watched a video since the update video, then you won't know that I resprayed it and completely repainted it. And that was the speed bump to the Warlord, really. But yeah, at the moment my current project is the Mars pattern on the right. Just putting all the base colours down, washing it, highlighting it. My next model that I'll be working on will be the Stormbird. But if there are new releases, like new Space Marine tank or new Space Marine Dreadnought coming out, then you know, they take precedence, and I'll build them rather than paint. So what we'll do is we'll just move over to the right, and there's my little night house. They're my own sort of night house with a gold tree that I hand painted on the shields. Even though the one in the middle has got the Tehran house colours. I was thinking of putting them all in front of the main Titans, but then you don't really get to see a sense of scale compared to the, you know, troops on the ground. But that's those. And then if we look just at the front of those knights, you've got a small growing force of Adeptus Mechanicus. You've got Belisarius, you've got a few Tech Priests, Tech Priest Dominus, and you got some Cataphron Servitors, and you got some they Destroyers, Cataphron Destroyers. Can't remember, I always get them mixed up. I think they're Destroyers. I think Breachers are the ones with the claw. But there you go. And you've got a little spider type tank. I want to get a few more of them. But so that's the Knights and the Mechanicum. And then if we stay over here on the right, you'll see the Corvus Blackstar. So this is my Deathwatch force. I haven't even sprayed them. I'll get around to it one day. There's a Watchmaster. And there's actually all the new assassins sort of hidden about there. Sort of a Where's Wally kind of thing. Oh, there's a Deathwatch Dreadnought too. And then if we carry on down here, we've then got my Demon Hunters, or they're now called Imperial Agents. You've got Kotias, and you've got some Stormtroopers, and you think you've actually got Inquisitor Greyfax just hidden in there. And then sort of to do with them, you've got a load of Grey Knights, some that are unpainted over there. I think I'd like to get a couple more boxes of standard Grey Knights, maybe one more box of Terminators, and then definitely a Dreadnought and the Land Raider with the side cannons and stuff, because that looks really good. And then that Grey Knights force is complete. I wouldn't really want to buy any more. Whereas the Mechanicum, I'd probably just keep adding more from Forge World to that. And Deathwatch, to complete that, I'd probably say I just want one more Black Star, maybe a Land Raider, but we'll see. I've got an Inquisitorial sort of Chimera too. So we'll start off here. So straight ahead, just slightly to the right, is the Stormbird. I'll go over there in a moment and give you some sort of freehand footage. But there's a Stormbird to the right. There's the Thunderhawk. There's two Storm Ravens in the shot. There's a Storm Talon and the the other little flyer that's like a Storm Talon. There's also Valkyrie, and next to the Stormbird on the left, just peeking out, there's a Vulture. So not a huge amount of flyers. I'd love a Fire Raptor, and I'd love a Storm Eagle, maybe 2 Storm Eagles, and I'd love a second Thunderhawk to go with that Stormbird, but, you know, it's a good sort of start. And then you've got a lot of tanks there, so near the Stormbird, on the left, you've got a Hunter, and then you've got a Stalker right in front of it, and then you've got a couple of Whirlwinds and a Damocles Command Rhino. Then you've got 2 Sicarans, you've got a normal Sicaran and a Venator. I think you've got about 8 Rhinos on the left with 3 Razorbacks. If I sort of zoom in there, you've got a couple of old school tanks, Bar Predator, Predator Annihilator, normal Predator Annihilator and Predator Destructor. You've got Bar Predator there. Just there next to the Bar Predator, you've actually got Colonel Schaefer's Last Chances. All metal models, came out in the sort of late 90s, early 2000s. I think you can still get them, but they're sort of made to order by GW. So then there you've got 4 Vindicators. Looks like you've got an old school one, full plastic, Forge World, and then a Forge World sort of Horus Heresy 1-2. Then we've got my sort of anti-tank tanks. Or tank destroyers. So we've got a super heavy Cerberus, then a Vindicator with a laser destroyer array. You've also got one of those Land Raiders with all the las cannons on, and you've got Typhon, and you've got a lot of Land Raiders. Command Land Raider 2 just there with the grav cannon on the front. I think there are 10 Land Raiders, 2 super heavy Land Raiders, you know, the Typhon and the Cerberus, and then 2 sort of large Land Raiders, 2 Spartans on the right hand side, and with a Mastodon bringing up the rear. You've got 4 Baneblade chassis super heavies, you've got Fellblade, 2 Baneblades and a Shadow Sword. So yeah, I've got more Land Raiders than Rhinos in this force. And I haven't finished yet with buying Land Raiders. So that's sort of like the left side of the force. So what we'll do now is, we've had a look at the Titans, the Flyers, the tanks, and the other additional forces, except for the Custodians. They'll be after this segment. And this segment will just be about the troops and the foot soldiers in this army. I've never seen this many models, other than sort of like at Warhammer World, where they have the displays and things. I don't know exactly how many there is. There must be hundreds and hundreds that are out there. But if we just look towards the back, there's like a sea of Terminators. Everything from Power Fists to Thunder Hammers to Lightning Claws. And then right at the back, at the feet of the Titans, you've got all the Horus Heresy Space Marines in the Mark IV or Mark III power armour. And you've got Cataphracti, Tartarus pattern armour. As we move over to the right, it's only fitting that we talk about the Dreadnoughts. So there's 2 Contemptor Dreadnoughts. There are 3 Venerable Dreadnoughts, a Leviathan, Chaplain Dreadnought, 4 normal Dreadnoughts, and a Furioso, and another one, so that's 2 Furioso, and an Ironclad. Really like to get the Siege Dreadnought from Forge World. I think that's really awesome. Moving down, still some more Terminators there. We've also got a Tech Marine, a few Space Marine Tech Marines, and a Horus Heresy one, and a load of Servitors, Thunderfire Cannon. Move over to the right, and there's some Land Speeders. So there's 2 Typhoons, 3 Tornadoes, a Storm and a Tempest. Need to get a few more and then that's complete. Moving further down to the right, we have Space Marine bikes. So there's 2 attack bikes, 3 scouts, I think 6 normal, and a chaplain. Speaking of scouts, there's a fair few scouts there, and the first and the 10th company captain for the recruits, and Telian, and I've even got Ulrich as the chaplain for the 10th company. How about that? I think it looks just like a cool model to have. Then we've got some assault marines. A librarian there, and some chaplains, sanguinary priest, and some Vanguard veterans. That sort of blends in with the Terminators, captains, veterans, some more Terminators, and some Centurions. There's only 6. Be cool if there was sort of double that number, but I'll get around to it. And we're back there with the Fellblade and the 2 Spartans. More Terminators there, and some standard Space Marines. And some special characters. And my 5 first ever Space Marines that I ever painted just there. They've got a debut in every video, I think. And some old Terminators. Oh, and some Custodians peeping out. We'll get to them in a moment, guys. And then there's all the captains of all of the companies in my chapter. I am going to do a company specific video. Every company that I complete build, I will do a video on. And there's Garrow, and Gilliman, and Rubio, Saint Celestine, some Sanguinary Guard, and some Sisters of Silence. There's only 15 of them. Some more normal Space Marines. There you go. I think there's an Emperor's Champion somewhere there as well. Now we'll just move over to the Custodian Guard. So let's just start with the standard, I say standard Custodian Guard. They are superior in every way. We've got Ixion Hale just there. We've got all the, we've got 15 spear and sword Custodes, and we've got 10 Sagittarum. We've got 2 Contemptors. We've got an Achilles and a Galatus, and then we've also got the Telemann Heavy Dreadnought there, biggest dreadnought in the collection. Galadius Grav Tank, Coronis, and a Pallas, and then we've got the 3 jet bikes, two with their death cannons, and one with just a 3-shot las cannon. Okay, so there you go. So that is my army update for 2017. There will be one next year, and it's going to look a bit odd because there will be a few Primaris Space Marines, I'm sure, in it. However, I think the ratio isn't going to make them look too odd. They're going to be outnumbered, so many. So a few slightly larger Space Marines aren't really going to affect this collection's look. But we'll see. Hopefully there'll be a few more tanks and a few more flyers and all the rest of it. Just a quick note about the painting. I think I've said what I'll be painting next and my sort of scheme. This is the thing with big models, like the Warlord Titan took a lot of my time because I'd painted every part individually and then made it, and I explain that in the review anyway. But because a model like that, you invest so much time into it, you know, the time that you invest in something like that could be spent on, you know, 10 to 20 squads of standard Space Marines. So just bear that in mind too, that some of these models I've spent a long time over when I could have batch painted a lot of the collection. Now, of course, this video has taken me a long time to set up. It took me about 7 hours. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it, share it, tell all your friends. I really enjoyed making the last 2 update videos, and I want to make one every year. Here are the outtakes. Thank you so much for your patience waiting for this video. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects. So I've almost got all the miniatures out of their boxes and things, and it's taken me 3 hours so far. Well, yeah, 3 hours. So I'm getting there. Obviously, next step is just to get the rest out of the boxes and then just organise them, really. And I think I'll just stop the timer now. It's showing 6 hours 40 minutes, so we'll stop it right there. 6 hours 40 to get all of the armies out.